Yes. Now we're taking you to Alcatraz prison, surrounded by some of the world's harshest waves, shaped by legend, and a place where escape was nearly impossible. As the ferry approaches Alcatraz, with every wave, it feels like the past is getting closer too. This ferry isn't just heading to an island. It's going to a prison of secrets. But this is not just an island. This is a place where questions live more than answers. Freedom lost inside a cell. Rebellions echoing through every corridor. And an escape story that remains unsolved. Our first stop is the dock. Today, visitors take photos here. But once, this was the last place prisoners ever touched freedom. Dragged off boats and chains, prisoners stepped into this narrow space, forced to walk upward. What they left behind was not just the city, but their entire lives. In the 1850s, Alcatraz was built as a military fortress to protect America's west coast. Over time, it became a military prison, and in 1934, a federal penitentiary. It was no longer just an island. It was a system where escape was nearly impossible. As you walk, that old vehicle and those cannons feel like they're whispering silent stories. And when you step inside, you're standing in the very heart of the mystery. As you move uphill, the main structure appears, the Cellhouse, the heart of Alcatraz. The moment you enter, the cold surrounds you. Long corridors reveal a system built with mathematical precision. The cells are small, almost identical. A bed, a sink, a toilet. But what stands out most is the architecture. Everything was built for control. From a single point, guards could see dozens of cells. Prisoners were always visible, but completely alone. And then, isolation, or as prisoners called it, the hole. When that door closed, it wasn't just the body that was locked away. Time itself was sealed. This is where people slowly came apart. Outside, one of the structures that catches your eye is the water tower. Rusty, harsh, silent. Water was brought from the mainland and stored there. Yes. But it also represented something else. One of the few heights prisoners could rarely experience. From above, the island looked small, and the ocean looked endless. It wasn't just a structure, it was an unreachable perspective. And yet, none of these precautions could chain the human desire for freedom. The 1946 rebellion, the Battle of Alcatraz, proved that. As prisoners reached the armory, took guards hostage, and set their escape plan in motion. Everything was ready, except for one thing, a key, a guard. Even at the cost of his life, kept that key hidden. The plan collapsed. Marines stormed the island. The escape failed, but Alcatraz was never the same again. But that wasn't the only story. In a place controlled this tightly, the desire for freedom only grew stronger. And then, 1962. The legendary escape. Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin attempted the impossible. For months, they planned. They carved through walls, built fake heads, and one night, disappeared. According to official records, they drowned. But years later, letters surfaced. Photographs allegedly sent to their family appeared, and those whispers suggested something else. Maybe they made it. But the real truth may be this. At Alcatraz, the greatest rebellion was not from those trying to escape, but from the minds of those forced to remain inside. In 1963, Alcatraz closed. And perhaps the most ironic part is this. A place so feared, so powerful, did not close because of rebellion or escape. It closed because it was too expensive. The system could no longer sustain itself. So this island was shaken by rebellion, legendized by escapes. But in the end, it fell silent under its own weight. And as you take the ferry back, the city appears before you once again. But it doesn't look the same anymore, because this island has taken something from you. And maybe the most unsettling part of all is this. Alcatraz closed, but the stories inside it still haven't escaped.